นี้ไม่เต็มเพิ่งนอนนะอันนี้ก็จะทำนอนนะแปลงนี้ก็นอนได้ Good morning. Let's see here. Yeah, we're all set. Good morning, everybody. Today is October 27th. It's 8:30 and it's a cloudy day out today. We got a few things to talk about. We're going to talk about Pattaya, which is always a fun subject. And there's a reason why I want to talk about this, but we're also going to talk about where Americans are located in the world, because I was a little bit surprised by this. And let's see, what else? Well, the dollar is 32.65 to the Thai baht right now. The air quality is 62. The temperature is only 77 degrees, high of 88, low of 76. And I feel like it right now is 81, which is really, the temperature is perfect. It's just that it's cloudy out. Looks like it's going to rain. The humidity is 83%, and it should be cloudy and rainy all this week. You know, every few years someone says Pattaya is finished. They say it's gone downhill, it's dirty, it's overpriced, it's full of cheap tour groups, and that the women aren't what they used to be. And I hear this all the time. You know, Pattaya's going down the toilet, it's going in the shitter. But what nobody's really talking about, and why people say that, and what's really changing underneath it all, because Pattaya is not really dying the way that people think it is. It's kind of it's not collapsing overnight, and what's happening is it's a slow transformation. And I would say Pattaya is in a bit of an identity crisis, and maybe you can blame the government for this, because they want it to be a family destination. And I've said this all the time. I said, how are you going to make a family destination in a place that's full of whorehouses? I mean, that's what these bars are. They're little whorehouses. How are you going to turn a place, I'm not talking about right in the vicinity, but even a little ways away, they still have little bars, and you can go pick a girl up and things like that. And, you know, families don't really want that. They want to go to places like Thailand. They want to go to places where maybe Ripley's Museum. They want to go places like that. And there's just not that many in Pattaya, and the beaches are just not that good. So what do most people go to Pattaya for? They go for the women. The men go for the women. Okay, maybe the women go for the women too, I don't know. But the old Pattaya was wild, it was raw, it was free. And it's still around, but it's buried under the new layers of construction, the tourism policy, and tourists who really, there's a lot of people. Listen, I've been here 31 years, right? I've been to Pattaya in the very beginning. And I can tell you, it isn't like it is now. I mean, it used to be wild. And I would go there, usually I went with a woman. I'd go there, I'd have a great time, man. Every time. I get a nice place for 1,500 baht. I mean, really nice. I'm talking about overlooking the ocean from the 20th floor. That's not happening really as much anymore. And there's a lot of people who just don't know now the new people coming in, they don't know what Thailand used to be. And I think that's what maybe the Thai government is banking on. They want people to see Pattaya in a different light. They want people to see Thailand in a different light. And everybody's going to have their own opinion, but it's like this high value thing. And I've said this a million times. How are you going to have high value when you look out your window and you see garbage on the beach? Or you see right next door here, I walk down just 2 minutes away, and there's a canal that is absolutely filthy. It stinks. You never would want to fall into it. How are you going to have high value when you have that? I mean, if you had 1 or 2 places, that's fine. But Thailand is full of those places. And Thailand has a lot of beautiful places, but it also has a lot of places that are filthy. And this is the way it is. The Western crowd that built up Pattaya's reputation, the single guys, the retirees, the long-term expats, they're fading now. And you got some Thai families that go there. You got some short-term tour groups. You got the Indians, the Chinese, and the Russians. And it's a different crowd. It's different money. It's different expectations. And if you know Thailand at all, you know this story. And this is what happens when a city built on freedom tries to clean itself up. I look at it like they're never going to make it a family place unless they just bulldoze Walking Street. Which, honestly, I hope it doesn't happen, but you never know. It might. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Similar weather here, back in your hometown. Where, in Miami? Expert analysis. Now, let me see here. Politicians think that they can rebrand a place by maybe painting the curbs and straightening up the streets, but they don't understand that what made Pattaya work was that it is not sanitized. And I've seen Pattaya when it was just a gritty R&R escape. And now it's you could say it's a global brand. And now what I think is it's a confused, overdeveloped, overregulated mess that is kind of half Sin City, and it's trying to be half family park. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Of course, no filters, no nonsense. We're going to talk about how Pattaya started, what made it explode, and what's really killing its old spirit, and whether or not it can reinvent itself, or is it just wasting its time and circling the drain? Because that's kind of what I think is going on right now. Now, I wanted to talk about something before I get into all this stuff. Oh, in case you don't know, I'm Scott. I'm an American who's been living here for 31 years now. Next year, it'll be 32, and I'll be able to say I've been here half my life. So that's good. But anyway, I make videos, live streams about living and working and traveling and surviving in Thailand, and to a lesser extent Southeast Asia and other parts of the world. But I tell you about real Thailand, no fantasy. And all I would ask is that if you like this live stream, please click on like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so, and remember to hit the notification bell so that you'll be updated on everything. And if you want to ask a quick question, hey, Sky Trooper, how you doing, buddy? Wow, 2 days, awesome. How long has it been since you've been here? if you want to email me or something like that, you got a question, you need a consultation, you want to say hello, an americaninbangkok@gmail.com. And before I get into this next subject, one more thing. I just want to remind you about my book, Expat Survival Guide, Living Smart in Thailand. It's available by clicking on the link in the description down below or on my website. Holy moly, you're in for a surprise, buddy. Big surprise. My website, americaninbangkok.com. The book is on there. I think it's on the front page, and it's also in books. But if you're thinking about moving here, retiring here, or you just want to know how things really work, this book will give you some hard truths, and you're not going to get any fairy tales from me. So, well, that's pretty awesome, Sky Trooper. I mean, it's been 20 years, but I think you're in for a big surprise. Hey, Dale, how you doing? Hello, everybody. That's what I'm going to say. Let me get that out of the way. Let me see something here. I just hit that. Why is it not? All right. Give Sky Trooper a thumbs up, please. That would be nice. You got all these people in here, nobody's giving him a thumbs up, or there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 people communicating. You know, that irks me a little bit. I know some people are shy or they just don't feel like saying anything, but don't be. If you feel like saying something, say it. All right? All right, from newsbreak.com. I've got the 10 places, I think it's 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, 10 places where American expats tend to go. So I'm going to start from number 10, which is Spain. 108,684 Americans. From Japan, which is number 9, 111,021. Number 8, France, 117,462. Number 7, South Korea, which kind of surprised me, 129,499, and this one really surprised me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Israel, 185,000 people, American people, in Israel. Now, it's a religious place, so it doesn't really surprise me that much, but it's Israel. I don't know why there'd be 185,000 people there, but supposedly there are. And I gotta say, the Israelis have gotten, listen, I want to say they've got a bad rap here, but I think they've got the rap that they deserve. And I know not all Israelis are, not all of them misbehave and get crazy and do stupid stuff here, but there are a lot of them that do. And I mean, I can't even tell you all the stories that have been in the news, not just lately, but in the last year or two. And I think they need to figure something out with what's going on. Yeah, they need to figure what they need to do here with these Israelis, because I think they need to do something like tell the Israeli government that if somebody misbehaves here, boom, they are banned forever, and they're going to have to pay a fine, they're going to go to jail, they're going to go through all that stuff. And this is the thing. In Thailand, they speak up about people who misbehave. It's in the news, it makes headlines and all this other kind of stuff. A lot of other places don't publicize it. But here in Thailand they do, because they're guarding their reputation, which I have a video coming up about that. But, you know, it'll be up soon. To each their own, as I always say, Pattaya is a choice. A lot of guys to call it their home. I much prefer the provincial. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't live in Pattaya. I'm sorry. That's just me. I know a lot of people that do. And some of them love it. So good for them. I'm you know, more power to them. It's just like some people want to live in Miami and some people are like, no way. I don't want to live in Miami. I want to live in Kansas or something like that. You know, I mean, that's how it goes. So it is what it is. Anyway. So, what is this here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, Australia, 218,216. Number 4, Germany, 238,682. Number 3, the UK, 325,321. Okay. And number 2, Canada, 600,000 Americans live in Canada. And, you know, I kind of understand that. I kind of understand the UK and to a lesser extent Germany. I understand Australia. I understand some of these. But number 1, which should come as no surprise to most people, is Mexico. And there are 1.6 million Americans living in Mexico. So that's a lot of people. Now, where does Thailand rank? Because I thought people would be interested in this. Now, Cambodia shows 1,700 Americans, but that is not really considered accurate. So that's something to consider. Singapore, 15,000 Americans. Malaysia, 18,000 Americans. Indonesia, 20,000 Americans. Vietnam has 101,550,000 expats. They don't differentiate between nationalities, so nobody really knows, but they've got 101,550, and that could be as low as about 85,000. But anyway, and Thailand. I'm interested to know if anybody knows how many expats there are in Thailand. Just curious, right off the bat. Good morning, Raymond. Good morning to Bali. I like Bali quite a bit. Okay, Thailand. 30,000 American expats. 30,000, that's it. That's not that many, really. You know, that's not really that many. You know, I don't know what makes somebody decide I'm going to Malaysia or I'm going to Singapore or Indonesia. Now, I understand Indonesia. Singapore, I don't really understand. Maybe you go for work. Okay, I understand that. Malaysia, maybe you go for work. And there are some beautiful places in Malaysia. I don't really understand that. There's no reliable figure for Laos, and I didn't even bother looking for Myanmar. I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think there's very many if there are. Yeah, there's no reliable, publicly available figure for how many U.S. citizens residing in Myanmar. The total worldwide number of Americans living abroad is 5.5 million per the Association of Americans Resident Overseas. So there you go. I just thought that was interesting, you know, at least a little bit. But we're going to talk about Pattaya today. So let's get away from where the Americans are, and let's talk about Pattaya. Alrighty. When it all started in Pattaya. Now, I know a lot of you kind of know what's going on in Pattaya. Before the 60s, Pattaya was just a little fishing village. Everybody always says, it's a sleepy little village. I don't want to use that word because it's kind of like, what's a sleepy village? It doesn't wake up? I mean, it's just a fishing village, okay? You don't need those adjectives. And the Vietnam War changed quite a bit of things because the U.S. troops came from Utapao for R&R. And then bars started popping up, guest houses followed, and a city was born. By the 1980s, it was one of the biggest tourism magnets in Asia. Cheap, easy, wild, and wide open. And that was when it became known as the city, Sin City by the Sea. And what's funny is, I don't know if, some of you may not know this, but the Klong Tlei Pier, the Klong Tlei area, used to be a big bar scene in Thailand. And I've seen pictures of it. I think I still have some somewhere. But that was a big party area for a long time. Obviously now it's something completely different, but so then Sin City, the 1990s through the 2010 were the golden years, and you had a lot of Westerners, Brits, Germans, Scandinavians, Aussies, Americans. They were the ones who dominated the scene, and that was when you could live for $1,000 a month and you lived pretty darn good. I don't mean you're surviving or you're existing, I mean you lived good. But there was a chaos mixed in with the charm of old Thailand, and there were very few rules back then. And, Thais are not very judgmental for the most part. So there was none of that. And by 2018, the city had 14 million visitors, generating 239 billion baht, which is more than 70% of its economy. So that tells you why they don't cut out and why they are hesitant to say, oh, we want it to be a complete family destination. Because they know they're going to lose a lot of money. And that's what the bottom line is. Everything is about the money. It's all about the money. And I can tell you, I remember going with, two particular girls that I went with. I remember both of them. And one of them, we ended up going to Koh Samet. And I got a bungalow right on the beach, and it was 500 baht a night. Now that was quite a long time ago. That was 30 years ago. But I got this bungalow. It was a really nice bungalow right there on the beach. I mean, the water came up about 10 feet away. Electricity was only on from a certain time to a certain time, which I don't remember what it was. And to be honest, I was supposed to stay somewhere else, and I got to the place and I go, what's going on here? This is not what I am supposed to get. So I called the travel agent, and they go, oh, no problem. We'll change for you. I said, all right, so give me another place. And the girl I was with goes, all right, let's go check it out. Let's see what, if it's any better. And it was. So we had a great time. And then another time I was in Pattaya, and I stayed at, I think it was, let me see here. I think it was the Royal Cliff Hotel. Let me check here. I think that's what it was. And I could have sworn it was, wow. Yeah, I could have sworn, I mean, it was like a 4-star, 5-star place at that time. I think it was 4-star. And it was like 1,500 baht, and I was like, oh my God, you step out onto the balcony, and you could sit out there, and there was a beautiful view, and yeah, it was fantastic. But that was a long time ago. Now, I went with my wife and my kids, and actually, we got a nice place. It was right before the city of Pattaya. And we had, I don't remember the name of the hotel, but we had a hotel there. I think it was just our kids were little, and we just stayed in one big room. and I don't know exactly how much it was, but it wasn't that much. It was, maybe 800 baht, something like that. Nice, huge pool, and you're right on the beach. You had a private beach. And I still have videos of my kids playing on the beach. So that was fantastic. But things have changed now. It's not the same as it used to be. I mean, that's just the way that it is. So, now, what is going on? There is a demographic shift that's been taking place in the last 5 or so, maybe 8 years, something like that. The Chinese tourists have dropped from 1.1 million in 2019 to 6.7 million in 2024, and Western retirees, a lot of them are leaving now because of the cost of living, boredom, exchange rates. The Brits, the Australians, they're leaving because of the exchange rates. And, that's the thing. It's a cycle. People leave. And everybody is saying, Pattaya is in the shitter. No, it's a different kind of a place. And some people may think, hey, this is shit compared to how it used to be. That's me. I think, this is garbage. I've told the story about how I think it was maybe 2 years ago, I went to Pattaya with a couple of guys, 3 other guys, and went into a bar, packed full of people, like 100 girls there, and there were like 2 girls that weren't fat, slathered in tattoos, slathered in gold. There was only 2 girls that myself and one other guy picked out where we went, okay, that one's all right, but like the rest of them, not like they used to be. I can tell you, it used to be you'd go into a bar and you'd see 1 or 2 hotties, then you go to another bar, at least 1 or 2 hotties, then you go to another one, 1 or 2 hotties. And so the idea was that after you went to 4 or 5 places, you picked what you wanted and you go, okay, I'm going to go back to that bar, I'm going to go get that girl. That's how it used to work. But now, Pattaya is mostly Indians, Malaysians, Russians, and Thais. That's what's happening. The demographic has changed. They were all 10s to... Well, they sure in the hell weren't 10s to me, and I don't think that he thought they were 10s by any stretch of the imagination. Some guys like them a little dirtier, a little nastier, and, that's okay. I understand that, but I don't like... I don't like the chicks with 3 kids and 2 bellies and 4 bellies or something like that. I mean, that's not what I want. Or at least that's not what I wanted back then and back when I first started going there. And I used to go there quite a bit, and I never thought, oh, is Pattaya any good? Should I go there? I just thought, hey, it's a place to go. And now I look at it and I go, it's a place to go, but it's not my kind of place now. It's too noisy. There's too many Westerners there. And anytime there's a group of Westerners and they're drunk, you're bound to get into fights. Not necessarily me, but people are bound to have problems. And I don't want to be in places that have problems like that. Listen, I don't wear an expensive watch most of the time. I don't have a wallet full of money and it's in my back pocket sticking out so people can... steal from me and pickpocket from me. I don't have any of that stuff. So if they want something, I go, I'm sorry, I don't have anything. There's nothing I can give you. You want my shirt maybe is $50. If you want that, you can have it. All right. No problem. I am too old for the bar scene. I lived in Pattaya 3 times for work, 96 to 2012. I don't necessarily say I'm too old. I don't really think that. I think more... it's the mentality that I have now. I don't want to deal with any of the bullshit in the bars. I can't stand heavy tats. Neither do I. But, I think my mindset has changed a lot. And I think a lot of people's have changed a lot. And, now, the word is out. It's been out for 15 years. Hey, you go into a bar. The girls... they're out, it's a business. They're trying to make a living. They give you the girlfriend experience, and now you're lucky if you get that. Back when I was around, man, it was 500 baht. They gave you the girlfriend experience and more. And that don't just mean with sex. They might be shy with sex. They might have a towel around them and be like, ugh. But, you know, they were folding your clothes. They were whying you. They were very polite. They clean your room up. I mean, this is 30 years ago, but they used to do this stuff. I was there 3 weeks ago, and it's changed a lot more. Hotels better, restaurants better, shopping. Well, listen, I don't need to go to a place for shopping. If I want to go to a place for shopping, I know exactly where to go. And I don't need to go to Pattaya. I don't have to come here to go shopping if I don't want to. I know exactly what I want. A lot of the time, I buy it online because I know I can get what I want. Now, if I've got to try something on or it's going to be something I want to see in person, then I'll go. But I know exactly where to go. And the internet affords you that now. Before it was look in the yellow pages or, you know, word of mouth or something like that. But I don't have to go shopping in a place. It's like going to Singapore. You go to Singapore, if you want to go there to shop, it's a great place. If you want to go there to eat food, it's a great place. You want to go there to gamble, okay, good place. But then after that, what is there to do? I can only go out and eat and drink coffee so many times. And then I get bored. I go, I need something more. I need something more exciting. Which is probably why I like Indonesia, because to me, Indonesia is better, far better than Singapore. There's a lot more to do, a lot more to see. The people are very friendly, you know, so I would agree with that. I mean, I'm 63, and I don't necessarily, I mean, you know, if one of my buddies said, oh, let's go out to the bar, I'd be like, really? Most of my friends now, they don't want to go to the bar. They've either got a girlfriend, they're alone, and they got something set up. They get, you know, they got some girl coming over once or twice a week, you know, or they just go to a massage parlor and, you know, like a soapy or something like that. They got everything set up. Most of the people that come here and they're here for a while, they stay here. They don't need to go to Pattaya other than to have fun. That's the reason why you go to Pattaya, to go have fun. Like we went, all of the guys went. And I think two of us didn't. We didn't take any. Three of us. We didn't take any women. I think it was three of us, maybe two. We didn't take any women, and we had a good time. You know, had the pool table, a little swimming pool, and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, women are not necessary to have a good time. They are the icing on the cake. That's what I always said. You let them become your first and foremost goal, and then you're wasting your time, you're wasting your effort, you're wasting your energy. Because why do you have to go after them? Listen, you really want one, go into a bar and see if the girls come up to you. And if one of them comes up and she's fine as hell, you go, would you like a drink? Honey, I'll get you a drink. Okay. Now, I got to say that the reason I brought this subject up is because I saw a video. I'm not going to name the name of the channel. But what I'll say is I think a lot of it is probably AI. You know, I don't really, I've seen all the videos that the guy has put up, or the whatever it is that they put up. I've seen all videos they put up on their channel, and they're all shit. They're all talking shit. They're all full of shit. And so I gotta bring out some of the things that they said in this video, because it rather irritated me a little bit. Now, what it said was, since COVID, the lady prices have more than doubled in Pattaya. So if the price was $2,000 for a short time before, now it's $4,000. Which is around the price of Eastern European women. And I don't really find that to be true. And I think, again, if you speak a little bit of Thai, even a little bit of Thai, sometimes you can negotiate even the most mercenary girls down. You can negotiate a little bit, but I don't think it's more than double, okay? Now, what really pissed me off is they were talking about a Grab taxi scam. Now, to me, I've never had a serious issue with Grab. Now, I have had Grab guys who I got charged for, and I thought, son of a bitch. You know, I canceled it because they were too far away or whatever. I thought, now I got to get my money back. It's going to take me 4 to 6 weeks or whatever. And sometimes it does. But it doesn't take that long. It takes like 3 days. And in some instances, they immediately refund your money. Now, what this guy said was that there was a charge showing up, and it was a low charge. It was about $2. He gets the charge, and then when he gets out and he starts walking away, he gets another charge for 700 baht, about 700 baht. Now, that's very easily handled. He said, and then all of a sudden, Grab support goes silent. No, Grab support doesn't go silent, because all you do is send them a message through their messaging system, and you get a message back right away saying they're going to handle it for you. And if they don't handle it within like 2-3 days, you just write them again. And then they inevitably will handle it for you. And I have had numerous times when they charged me and I canceled because the person was taking too long. You know, it's going to take you 5 minutes, and then 10, 15 minutes later, they're still not there. That's the kind of thing that has happened to me. And I go, that's it. I'm not waiting any longer. Boom. Cancel. You canceled, blah, blah, blah. Why did you cancel? The person was taking too long. It took 15 minutes. You said it's going to be 5. I got my money back. I've never had a problem like this, ever. So I call bullshit. Complete bullshit. And then, you know, of course, his comment is, when trust dies, there's a shift. Well, listen, I don't trust anybody. You think I trust people in Pattaya? I don't trust anybody. Somebody wants to sell me something, I'm like, I tell you what, you give me some money, and I still don't believe you. I'm not buying it from you. That's why I don't want anybody coming to me saying, hey, would you like some help? Do you want me to take you here? Do you want me to take you there? No, I don't. If I need you, I will ask you. I'm a grown man. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. Now, if I need something, I'm going to an expert. I'm going to somebody who really knows their shit. I'm not going to go to some little chubby guy on the street who walks up to you and goes, hey, my friend, how are you? You're not my friend. You know, I don't have to say that to him, but the guy's not my friend. I don't know him from Adam. And I had this happen in the beginning many times in Bangkok, Pattaya, and numerous other places. Chiang Mai, Phuket. You know, already got the hulums. What's a hulum? I don't know what a hulum is. Oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, I don't care what anybody does here. I don't care who's here. If there's a problem, I trust the Thai government to take care of it. That's all. And, you know, it's easy. If there's hoodlums there, whether they're American, whether they're Thai, whether they're Russian, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Because they don't bother me. I've been there many times. Nobody bothers me. I don't get bothered. And if I do, I walk away most of the time. That's it. Or I'm not there long enough to be bothered. And if there's hoodlums there, you know, okay, so what do you want to do about it? What are you going to do? Just because somebody wears a pair of pants that are sagging doesn't necessarily mean they're a hoodlum. It means they're a guy who wears his pants sagging. And maybe he's into rap or he likes to dress like that. That's all it means. Doesn't mean he's a hoodlum. Another thing the guy said was, now this really got me. He said, before COVID, there was a guy, an expat, who lived in Pattaya for 60,000 baht. Now, he barely gets by on double that amount. That's complete nonsense. So, some of the people online are they are talking such smack. And you got people that actually believe them. I don't understand why. Maybe it's because they're gullible. Maybe it's because they've never heard anything that was based in reality. You know. Anyway, bar fines that were 500 baht are now 5,000. Bullshit. Since COVID, one bar owner says, my electricity bill has doubled. Wow, that's pretty wild. You know what? Since COVID, my electricity bill has gone down. Now, some of that has to do with the air conditioning that we're using. We have new air conditioners instead of older air conditioners, and they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're more efficient. But I can tell you, my bill has been up to 8,000 baht, my electrical bill. And maybe it hovers around between 4,000 and 5,000 now. But it hasn't doubled. The only way it's doubled is they're getting charged by somebody else, which, you know, hey man, that's on you. More than you know, Ben. A lot more than you know. And then he's talking about all the bar raids and the cameras and how they only want high quality customers. Pattaya is losing its soul. Oh, God, see, I just see this and I go, this is the kind of garbage. It's just garbage. That's what it is. It's garbage. You go there, you mind your own business. Most of the time, you're not going to get messed with. You start getting messed with, you extricate yourself from the problem. You get on out of there. If you can't get on out of there and you have to fight, the only way you need to fight is if somebody puts their hands on you. And that's why people have seen me do this before in my streams, where somebody's come up to me and walked up, hey, my friend, and they grab my arm, and I'm like, hey, don't. If you're a Thai person and somebody touches you that you don't know, they're going to get whacked. Or somebody's going to be like, what are you doing? Don't touch me. That's the only time. And I'm not talking about, listen, they touch you. That's wrong. They shouldn't do it. But you don't need to beat the hell out of them for that. It's when they get aggressive and violent, then maybe you need to defend yourself. That's the only time you should. Other than that, you're not going to be bothered most of the time. The way they do things is they do it on the sly. They want to pickpocket you. They want to cheat you. That's how people get more money out of you. They are not the kind who will aggressively try to take your money from you right in front of you. They may do it, but you don't even know that you're being taken. Okay? So that's something else to think about. Now, a short time that once cost 500 baht is probably now 2,000, 3,000, depends on the girl, depends on what you can negotiate, and of course, the quality or the lack of quality in the particular lady that you are addressing. According to a market report for the second half of 2024, let's see here. The average daily rate, ADR, across hotels in Pattaya, 3,498 baht per night. Now that's about what? That's about $105. But of course you can get a cheaper hotel, but that gives you a ballpark average of the hotel quality in the market, and Pattaya is still cheaper than in the West, but it's not really cheap anymore. It's not, oh, Thailand is so cheap. No, it's not most of the time. Now listen, my condo, our townhouse is cheap. I'll give it that. And of course, you can find places they're 500, 800, 1,000, 1,500 baht. You can find those kind of places. You just got to look for them. That's all. It's not that hard. But the average is about 3,500. Now, The government is doing a rebrand. They've been doing this for a long time. Pattaya, a family-friendly digital hub version of their idea of Pattaya. And the problem is that Pattaya's soul isn't entirely clean. It's built on nightlife and freedom and fun. And you can't sterilize the sin without killing off what made the place alive and great and so much fun. I mean, it used to be a great time there. And you could still have a good time there. I mean, that's my opinion. But, you know, depends on where you go and what you want and, you know. Good stuff. Now, the Pattaya of today is not dead. It's just different. It's not really dying. It's not really going down the toilet, but it's headed down a different path. That's the way you can look at it. And who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if they may kill the golden goose? I don't know. The city is, like I said, it's still fun, but you got to know what you're looking for. The bars, the girls, and the chaos. It's all still there, but there's a lot of traffic now. A lot of construction dust, a lot of dirt, and this is not grit. And I remember when I first went to Pattaya, there was almost no traffic. You're going down, what is it, 2nd Street. There's no cars. There's only a few cars. That's it. Now the place is huge. There was no. What's the name of that? Central? Is that what it is? Well, the thing with Pattaya is that everything is in a small area. A fairly small area compared to Bangkok, which is all spread out, and you may have to go somewhere. Listen, I leave my house, and you know it's going to take me 30 minutes just to get down into the city, at least. If I take the SkyTrain or the subway, it might take me an hour. If I take a taxi and there's not much traffic, it might take me a half an hour. But if I want to go across town, like to the river, it's going to take me an hour and a half. Hour and 45 minutes by SkyTrain. Now, it may take me an hour by taxi, but still, that's an hour that you're commuting. It's, you know, it's a fair bit. Pattaya beaches are lacking and dirty. They need to look for ways to improve the place and expand to attract different generations of people. Definitely. I think you got it right. I mean, listen, their beaches and the sea there is filthy. And, you know, you can't get around that. When people walk down, when I walk down the street in Pattaya, oh, I see the beach and I see all these boats out in the harbor. I'm like, okay, maybe they should have one little, you know, designated area. Okay. Let me tell you something. Kolan is nothing special at all. Not at all. Well, when I used to go down there on a regular basis, the central mall there was not even built. Okay? It wasn't even built. There was a lot of stuff was not there. The Hard Rock wasn't there. Now, you know, I've been to Kolan. I've been there. It's nothing special. Not at all. Do you think Pattaya has changed the most in the last 30 years, like in terms of development? How does it stack up against other provinces? Now that's a good question, but I would say it's not necessarily the infrastructure that has gotten so much better or worse. It's the demographic that's changed. You know, it used to be Americans, Scandinavians, Australians, you know, Europeans, that kind of thing. And now it's morphed over and it's Chinese and Indians and Malaysians and Russians and, you know, Koreans, Japanese to a lesser extent. So I would say, you know, its infrastructure hasn't, I mean, maybe they're working on things, but I don't think it's all that much better. I mean, I remember when you could take a bus and it was like, let me see how much it was. I don't know, it was 70 baht, something like that. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see here. I mean, now it might be, what, 110 baht, something like that. But I remember it being around 70 or 80 baht when I first started going. And I'm trying to get an exact amount, but I can't seem to find it. It's just saying right now, oh, okay, here we go. Somewhere in the ballpark in 2000. It was somewhere in the ballpark of 60 to 90 baht one way, but that's an estimate. Now, I don't think it was 90 baht. I think 90 baht was like probably like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So, I mean, it's under 130 baht, my friend. I hate to tell you that. It's not 130 baht. It's about 108 baht, 109 baht, something like that. And I don't even do that, to be honest. Now, I take whenever I go there, which the last time when I went with you guys, I didn't take, we went together. But if I take a minivan, it's like 120 baht. And it takes me real close to where I want to go. And then I just take the place, I go back to where I can catch it, and I go all the way back, and it's 2 minutes away from my house where it drops me off. So I like it better than taking the bus. I don't care, it's a little bit more expensive, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've seen many videos of Thailand and none have impressed me. I'll reserve full judgment. Listen, I'm here to tell you, it is nothing special. Koh Samet used to be special, used to be nice. Oh wow, it was so nice. And one of the girls that I went, like I said, I went to Pattaya with, I went to Koh Samet with her. And it was fantastic, it was great. We had a great time. I've been with my wife like 4 times. And she was like, oh, well, I don't know if it's 4. Maybe I went once by myself, then 3 times with her. I don't know. But the last time, she was like, oh, I had so much fun. I'm like, yeah, okay. Me, I was like, God, there's nothing but Korean and Japanese and Chinese tourists. And it's packed. And I thought about it, and she said, do you want to go back? And I said, no, I don't want to go there again. I don't need to go there. I don't need to go to Koh Chang out there. I don't need to go there anymore. I don't need to go to these places. I've already been there. I don't want to go back. They're not better. They're worse. They're more packed. They got more tourists. What do you want to go there for? You want to go to places that are off the beaten track. She asked me yesterday, do you want to go to Thailand? And I said, well, I'd like to, but, you know, it depends. Depends on when it is and how many days you want to go for. If you want to go for 3 days, I don't want to go because it's not enough time. You want to go for like 5 days, 7 days, okay. We got to figure it out, you know. So we will. But anyway, let me get back to this here. The main thing is that the energy and the demographic have changed. It's less Western, more Asian, more local in Pattaya than it used to be. I would say a little more local, but I would say it's definitely more Asian than Western. And it's still a good, I'm going to say this, if you're a newbie, I think you have to go there at least once or twice. After the second time, you know, you might not want to go for a third. I don't know. Some people love it there. I know a handful, I know half a dozen people that live there. And they seem to like it. Now, I want to give you some numbers here. 24.78 million visitors in 2024, which is up 17.9% from 2023. 264.3 billion baht in tourist revenue. That's up 26.5%. 71% hotel occupancy across 31,000 rooms. But the arrivals are down 4.6% in 2025. It's not dying, it's mutating. Now, I can ask my wife about these numbers. She would probably know about these. And I said to her, oh, well, yeah, okay, let's go to Koh Lanta. And she told me the name of a hotel there. I said, oh, well, that, you know, that's fine. I said, well, it's about 4,000 baht a night. I'm like, are you going to get some kind of a discount or anything? She says, I have to see what I can do. I said, okay. So we'll see what she can do. But at 4,000 baht a night, I want 2 rooms. I don't want 1 room. I don't want to have to sleep with the kid in my room with me, you know. I'm sorry, we gotta, you know, if both of them come with us, they both got to get their own room, and we got to get our room. So that's the way it goes. But now, Pattaya's choice is rather simple. And this is the thing that it seems the government can't do. Be honest about what Pattaya really is. There are no prostitutes in Pattaya. Do you really believe that? Or you can do what they like to do. They stick their head in the sand. They keep pretending that this is a family destination. And I personally think it's not a family destination. You may have a family of Indians coming there, and they're all doing what they want to do. The men are going to bars. They're, you know, their women are taking care of the children. They all go out to a nice restaurant, you know. But it is not, in my opinion, a family destination. I would not bring my family there as a family destination. I would not say, hey, Alex, Nicholas, why don't we go to Pattaya and stay right in the middle of the town? Me, you, and your mother. Oh, my God, we're going to have such a great time. We'll hit the bars. Yeah. No. Now, the people running Pattaya want to make it respectable, and the people who love it want it raw. And somewhere in between survival, somewhere in between a survival and maybe even a rebirth, but who knows what it's going to be. Hey, Charles, who knows what it's going to be when it emerges? What kind of alien will it be? What kind of alien creature will it be? I think eventually it's going to just kind of come right back around, and I just don't see a lot of the bars shutting down unless they're made to shut down. And I don't think that's going to happen because they get too much money from the bars, from the restaurants, from the hotels, from all the people that come in here because they want to go get laid or they want to get drunk or whatever it is. You know, let's not forget that bars and go-go's are places where people get wasted. It's not only that they go and find their lady, you know, their future ex-wife, you know. Well, Jomtien is starting to become more like Pattaya, but it is, you know, a little bit nicer. Yes, there are no prostitutes in Pattaya or in Bangkok. They're PR. And, you know, this is what I mean. It's so ridiculous. How are you going to change anything? I don't see how it can happen. Now, you tell me, I don't know. Maybe you guys have an answer. How can we change it? How can we change Pattaya to be a friendlier destination? Now, Phuket, it's overrun with tourists. Younger people drink less than older generations now who are health savvy. Drink less than older generations now who are health savvy. The bar scene isn't what it used to be, so the bars will have to adapt. Will change as years go by. Well, how can you change a bar? People go to bars to drink and to pick up women. That's what they do. They don't go there to play tiddlywinks or play, you know, they play the games with the girls because, you know, they like to interact with the women. That's what they do. So what is the answer? Oh, we're going to go out and fly a drone out in the back? I don't think so. We're going to talk politics? I don't think so. You know, I mean, that's the bottom line. And the girls don't give a flying, they don't care. And a lot of the girls, they're smart enough to have moved online. They've moved online. And, you know, they don't have anybody telling them what to do. They don't have to pay the bar. They don't have to earn a certain amount. If they want, they get, you know, 3-4 guys giving them a couple thousand every month, and, you know, next thing you know, they're making 30,000-40,000, and maybe they're only working once a week, twice a week. Pattaya attracts drinkers from all over the world. Never will be a lack of drinkers when people go there from all over the world. That's true. Well, then maybe the Thai government needs to hear you, because they are trying to change it, and they've been trying to change it. I remember calls from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Oh yes, let's bulldoze this place and let's change it. Let's make it a family-friendly place. Okay, but you know, this is the thing. When there was COVID, they said, we're not going to rely on tourism. Tourism, we rely too much on tourism. We're going to have to build up our other sectors. And maybe they've built some of them up, but they still rely on tourism. I don't know what she's saying. Can't hear her. But, you know, that's the thing. They still rely on tourism. 20% of their GDP comes from tourism. So, when you have that kind of a number, I mean, maybe you need to find something else to do. They've already bastardized Muay Thai in a way. I mean, it still is what it is here, but they've promoted it in such a way. I mean, you know, you get a ticket ringside, it's 2,000 baht, 2,500 baht. It's ridiculous. And the thing is that people came to Thailand before because it was a great value for the dollar. Now it's a good value for the dollar. It's still a very good value here. And I know, because I know that I can live very good. Let me just tell you something. I don't need, I get, you know, I'd say, what are my bills that I pay? Just for me, not for us. I mean, you know, I pay for the food, but my wife, she went out yesterday. She probably spent 3,000-4,000 baht on food. So she spends money on food too, but I go out and generally buy a lot of the food. And I can tell you that for about 45,000 baht, that pays all my bills. I mean, you know, that's the rent, the electricity, the water, the Netflix, the Spotify, the food. That's not including savings, but so, you know, I don't need to I don't need to worry about some of the things that are going on that some people are worrying, and I understand that. But when you're living in Pattaya, that whole city, it's a whore city. I hate to say that. It is a whore city. That's what most people go there for. There are a lot of people. Listen, Bob, Carlos, my friends Jamie and John. There's a couple others there. They live a good life, man. And they live, you know, a little ways away from all that stuff. Well, Bob doesn't. He lives pretty much right in the middle of it. But, you know, he does his own thing. He's got his own thing going on. And this is the thing. When you become an expat, it's not the same as living here. You're not going to come here and go out every night at the bar and go partying every night. Oh, I've got to go see my friend Lucy at the who knows what bar. And then tomorrow I'm going to go to this bar and see my friend so-and-so. You don't do that. That's not what most people do. If you're a drunk, if you're an alcoholic, maybe that's what you do. You go to the same bar every day and you take up that stool. And I know a lot of places where every day the guy goes to that bar and he sits there. He may drink the same number of beers every single day. He may not. He may drink more sometimes. Who knows? And that's what he does. Now, to me, you can do that anywhere in the world. Right? You can do that stuff anywhere in the world. You can drink anywhere in the world. If you want, you can drink at home. I mean, listen, I got bottles of tequila. We got wine at home. I don't drink any of it now. I just don't want to do it. And some people, they like to drink. They want to be social and go out. And you know, the Brits, it is a social event to go out drinking with other people a lot of the time. You know, I mean, I went to England. I mean, I've been to England a handful of times, half a dozen times or so. But I went one time, and there was a girl, Sally Pierce, very nice girl, and it turned out she was pretty damn hot. I didn't realize it. I met her in California, and then I said, I'm going to the UK. And she said, oh, wow, well, you have to come see me. Oh, okay. She said, you can stay with me. What? I was like, okay. Then when I get to the airport, she's there, and I go, oh, my God, this chick is gorgeous. I was like, she was dressing down. I was like, holy shit. She took me home. I met her father, her brother. I met everybody in the family, and they said, all right, we're going out. I think the father stayed home the first night. And we went out to the bar, and they wouldn't let me buy anything. I'm trying to pay, and they're like, no. I got hammered. Then the next night, she went home. I'm staying there with her brothers drinking. So it's a social atmosphere. I got hammered that night, and then I had to fly to Amsterdam. I almost missed the flight, but I can tell you when I got on the flight, I was drunk. How can some of these guys drink nonstop every day? They must feel brutal afterwards. You know how it is, man. Listen, the more you drink, then the more you need. And then after a while, you're just drinking all the time and you don't feel the same effects. But I can tell you, I know there was a girl that I used to go out with. I lived with her. This is 40 years ago. And she used to drink a couple of beers. And I would go, God damn, man, I can smell that beer on you. It's like oozing out of your pores. And she would go out, and I'd say, you're not going to drink, are you? And she's going, no, I won't drink. She'd come home, and I'd go, you've been drinking. I only had 2 beers, God damn it. She would get angry. She would be an angry drunk. But she was the kind who used to drink, and her body just absorbed it. So if she drank a 6-pack, she was hammered. Absolutely hammered. But she did that over and over, and she'd tell me, I'll never drink again. I promise you, I won't cause any problem. I won't. And after a while, I went, I can't take this. You know. And so that's the thing. Window shopping is fun in Amsterdam. You're better off going to a bar in Pattaya, my friend. I hate to tell you that. No, that's why they get the DTs, because they can't function without it. Haven't you ever seen that Humphrey Bogart movie? I think it was To Have and Have Not or something like that, where he has that friend who's a rummy. He's always drinking rum. He's always loaded, but he always functions as a mate on the boat. And so he stopped drinking for a couple days at the behest of the captain, Humphrey Bogart. And then they have to go do something, and he's like, please, give me a drink. I'm like, I can't function. You got to give me a drink. And he's like, okay. So he gave him a drink. And then he was like, it was like he was gold again. So now, Pattaya is never going to be clean, and I don't think it ever should be. They can try to clean it up all they want, but that's not what it was built for. Pattaya was always a place of escape, a place to go have fun, but it was a place to escape the rules, the stress, the 9-to-5 world. It was a place to get away, and man, it really got you away. I don't know about now. To me now, I'm like sitting there going, it's nothing special. But it's where ordinary guys came to feel free again. Yeah, I understand that, but you know what? You don't have to buy if you go into a Pattaya bar either. So to me, I don't know. You know, they're behind the window. It's not the same as they're right there sitting on your lap having a drink. There are better RLDs outside of the Wallen, but for the hobby, the self is mad. RLDs? What the hell's an RLD? Red light districts. Oh. I've been to Amsterdam many times. I've been to the red light district, and I can tell you, it's got nothing on Pattaya, my friends. Nothing. And this is the thing. You go to Pattaya, hey, you buy a girl a drink. And, you know, some of them, they take the drink, they say, thank you. They come over and talk to you for, 2 minutes, and then they walk away, and you're like, where'd the girl go? And some of them you go, all right, here's a shot of tequila, and here's a drink. And if you just sit there for a bit, and they'll go, oh, I got to go up and dance. They dance, and they come back to you. Okay, well, then maybe. But that's a lot better than going up to a window and looking at her and staring at her and going, oh, wow. Now, pretty funny, but I was going down Lot Prow Road a couple days ago, and I looked over on the sidewalk, and all of the sidewalk for miles and miles, for many kilometers, were completely smooth. They had redone them. I mean, for I don't know how long, but from wherever I was, which was down by Chatuchak, down by the mall there. Once it turned and you go back onto Lot Prow, the sidewalk was completely flat. But even now, with broken sidewalks and the overpriced beer, which they are, there is still a bit of a spirit in Pattaya. You can still walk down a soy at midnight and get a little buzz. Maybe something's going to happen, and that's what I used to like. I used to like going down there and going, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I might get hammered, and I might, find the girl of my dreams for a night, or I might end up going, I'm going home. But there was an anything can happen kind of energy. And that's, listen, I like that in Bangkok too. I mean, I used to go to Nana Plaza, Nana Disco especially, but I would go in there and I'd order a beer and a shot of tequila. I'd be like, all right, drink the beer slow, down the tequila, get another one, and before you know it, you're on your way, and you don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. You meet some girl, and you go, oh, my God, she's beautiful. And when you wake up in the morning, you go, oh, my God, she's not beautiful. So Pattaya is not perfect. Hell no, it's definitely not perfect. It's messy, it's loud, it's chaotic, and sometimes it's a little bit ugly. But that is the beauty of it, even with the demographic that is there now. And maybe, just maybe, the Thai government should acknowledge this and say, hey, we got a lot of people that want to come here. Maybe what they should do is formalize everything. Hey, listen, the girls are this price. This is the price you have to pay. The bar fines are this price. Make it to where they all agree. Bar fines now are automatically 800 baht. And if it's before 12 o'clock, they're 1,200 baht. And the girls are 2,500 for a short time, 5,000 for a long time. I don't know. Whatever. You got to figure something out. But I don't think they will. They're going to just keep trying to turn it into a family destination. And I think that's wrong. But people love Pattaya because it's a very real place. You know, whatever it is. You can say whatever you want, but the bottom line is, maybe, you know the government's not going to do that. But maybe if they kind of formalized a few things, you wouldn't have some of the hassles that you got now. Pattaya is not what you would call a corporate resort that's all polished up for Instagram. It is a living, breathing, flawed city that's full of stories. I mean, I have a few stories from there. I have a few stories from Bangkok, and you know, well, that's the mindset that I love to have. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble, if I'm going to, you know, but I don't do that anymore. I don't even like going out at night anymore, to be honest. I don't go out at night very often because I don't want to deal with the traffic. So that's something else. And you know, you can't go home at 1 o'clock in the morning on the BTS. But that's the thing. Or on the boat or something like that. You know, they don't run that late. So you got to take a taxi or whatever, drive your car, a motorcycle. But I just don't like being out at night because I just don't want to have to go through all the traffic. And make no mistake, if you're not down on Sukhumvit, if you're somewhere a little bit away and let's say you're an expat, you know, usually for me, if I was to go down and go to a bar with one of my friends, it would be a special occasion for me. I don't usually do it. And I just don't want to. I don't have to. And I just go, I'm an old man. What do I got to do that for? I don't need to do that. I got a woman. I got kids. I don't feel like dealing with this bullshit. So when people say Pattaya is going down to toilet, I kind of laugh because toilets flush and they also refill. And that's kind of how you can look at Thailand. This city Pattaya always seems to fill back up. And when you think about Thailand, you think, oh, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Oh, they'll never be the same. Oh, they're not going to come back. Oh, it's going into the shitter. And you could say that about it now, but guess what? They got a lot of people moving here. And maybe they're not a lot of Americans or Brits, but maybe they got a lot of Indians. Maybe they got a lot of Chinese. And you know what? The money's all the same color. That's the bottom line. The money is the same color. They don't care. Whether it's good or bad depends on what you're looking for. Freedom or comfort, chaos, calm. But one thing is sure, Pattaya is not dead. It's just changing. And that's kind of how Thailand is. It's morphing over the years. Morphing into a different feel. There used to be a lot of traditional mixed in with the modern. Now there's starting to be a lot of modern in Bangkok and not all that much traditional. They try to make it seem traditional. Go to Icon Siam, go on the first floor. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this, Margaret. It's so nice. This is the old Thailand. It's not the old Thailand. It's some lady dressed up in a traditional Thai outfit. You know, she's probably looking at her phone when she's not selling anything. You know, it's not that traditional in many ways as it used to be. 30 years ago, there was no BTS. There was no MRT. I don't know when the canal boat really started. Let's see here. Can I find out? Let's see here. I thought it was in late 1990 or something like that, but let me see here. It was in 1990, October 1st, 1990. So when I got here, the boat taxi was being used. Now, what about the let's see here. Because there's a lot on the Chao Phraya. Okay, the Chao Phraya Express Boat Ltd. was started in 1971. The service on the river is commonly referenced as starting in 1971. But it's not the same service as it is now. So that's something else to think about. And usually, you got a new generation coming in to see Thailand, and there's also a new generation of Thais. A lot of the Thais now, they speak English. The young Thais, they speak English. They speak at least a little bit of English. If I speak to this girl and I say, hello, how are you? What's going on? Well, they know that all by heart. And some of them know a lot more than that. Nong,คุณพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้ไหม? You can't speak English? No. Hello, how are you? ไม่ได้เหรอ? Well, she doesn't speak English, but she's a little bit older. She's probably about 35, I'd say. She's like the manager here. The other one, I know she speaks English. She doesn't like to, but she does. That's a dancing girl. I asked her today, wow, you still dancing? What's going on? She goes, I'm too tired to dance right now. So, you know, some of the things have changed quite a bit over the years. Some of the things were in play long before I was here. And so, you know, Pattaya changes. Every place changes. There's always going to be changes. And, you know, you may like them, you may not like them. I mean, I like the Sky Train is around. Yeah, it's good. Blah, blah, blah. Personally, I think there's too many people in the city, but it depends on where you go. And also, what is too many? To some people, too many is New York City. When you're walking and you got everybody around you. To me, there's too many because when I get out of here, I go, oh God, I got to get out of here. I don't want people all around me. And maybe I walk down the street and there's not that many people. Okay, that's good. But it's still not what my perspective is, and what your perspective is of Bangkok or Pattaya or wherever it may be is going to be different from someone else's, and that's kind of the beauty of it. And that is why some people love Pattaya, some people hate it. I personally think most of it is a shithole. Now, I know you can go and, you know, go high-so if you really want to, and you can spend a lot of money and go to great restaurants. I understand that. But, you know, hi, I live in Bangkok, but I hate being around people. Or as I say, I don't hate people, I just feel better when they're not around. Charles Bukowski. I don't know that it's already in the shit tank. I wouldn't say that. Because if you really want, you can still go down and do the same things that you were doing 15, 20 years ago. You know, you can still do them. But the experience is going to be a little bit different. And that's the thing that people don't really bank on. So really, when I say it's going down the toilet, it's going down the toilet, but it's heading down a different path. It's like, it's basically, I'd be better off to say, There's a fork in the road. You want to go left, you want to go right, or you want to go straight? What do you want to do? Well, they're not going to go straight because they're trying to change it to a family destination. They've been trying to do this for 20 years at least. They've been saying things about this for 20 years. It's been changing for the last 5-10 years. Now, do you want to go straight and just keep doing the same? Well, they don't want that. Do you want to go right and go back to where it's all about people spending money in the bars, getting as much money out of them as you can and doing this? Or do you want to go left, veer left, and now you got something completely different, which is supposed to be a family destination. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Yes, please hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. We got about almost 80 people here. And I got 35 thumbs up. I never understand this, and I've given up understanding it. I don't know what the deal is. We all know why the male tourists go there. Well, I would say a large percentage of them go there for the women. And I don't see that that's a problem, quite frankly. If that's what they want to go there for, nobody's dragging the girls in there. I would say the vast majority of the girls know what they're getting into. They know what they're doing. They have a choice. They can say yes or no. And most of them are like, I want the money. And, money is kind of their god. I hate to say that, but, Well, I would say you haven't been there, go there. Go there, check it out. You might like it. There's a lot of nice places there. There's a lot of nice restaurants. I wanted to go. I was on the keto diet a long time ago. Well, it's been about 3 years, 2 years, something like that. And I just looked for a place and I found it. Boom, everything they had was keto. I was like, well, this is all right. I wanted to go to another place. Boom, it was fantastic. They got a lot of nice places there because it's a city where, people know there's going to be foreigners coming here. Now, maybe a lot of the places, they cater to Westerners, and guess what? There's not as many Westerners coming. Maybe there's enough to keep them afloat and keep them going. Maybe some of the other nationalities like their place. So I try not to think about it too much, to be honest. I look at it like, if you want to go there, go. Now, if my wife said, I know where we should go for our vacation. Let's go to Pattaya. I would be like, no, I don't want to go there. Go ahead. You want to go? Go. Have at it. Take the kids and have a grand time, but I'm not going. And she won't ever say that to me. I guarantee you. She doesn't want to go to Phuket other than for work. She doesn't want to go to Pattaya other than for work. Now, she does like Chiang Mai, but, Chiang Mai, and she's been there probably 20 times. So I tell her now, I don't want to go to Chiang Mai. I don't even want to go to Chiang Rai. So that's why you find somewhere different. And I went to Kuala Lumpur, and I think tomorrow a video's going up from there. And then I have another one coming up. And I think we're going to, go to Koh Lanta. I don't know. Come on. You don't bring someone, it's like bringing sand to the beach. I hate to say that, but that's kind of how it is. Plenty go for the seafood markets, golf, fishing, etc. Nobody makes y'all go to the bar areas. Y'all go, so quit acting like y'all don't. Plenty of other things to do. There are other things to do. I don't golf. Don't want to go there. Now, I do like the seafood markets. I have been fishing there one time. I went fishing with 2 other guys. We got a private boat, and we went out. We went fishing. And we had a fantastic time. We caught some yellowtail and some other things. And we cooked it right there. The guy cooked it up for us. As it came out of the water, bam, he was cooking it like 5 minutes later, and then we were eating it. It was fantastic. you can go to the Ripley's Museum. There's all kinds of things. You can go to Koh Lan, but to me, go to Koh Lan once. That's all you need to do. Go there once. I went around the island, and I went, this is it? I mean, this is me. Now, I've been to a lot of places in Thailand, and I appreciate the truly spectacular places, or truly beautiful places. Koh Lan is not a spectacular destination, or a spectacular destination, what was the other thing I was going to say? It's just not what I would call a wonderful place to go. It's okay. All right, here we go. It must be 10 o'clock now. Is that what it is? Yes, it's 10 o'clock. The slow parade. Workers, shoppers. Koh Lan is a cheaper island, not all the expensive resorts. No, but it's, I was not impressed. That's how I can put it. I was not impressed at all. Listen, you go to Samet, I was more impressed with Samet than I was with Koh Lan. More impressed with Koh Chang. And they don't have the chicken restaurant there anymore, which sucks. I didn't say I don't like Chiang Mai. I never said I don't like it. And some people, they're like so dead set on liking. What? I didn't go to Samui either. I've been to Samui many times, but I didn't go recently. And I didn't go to Koh Tao. I was going to go to Koh Tao. Hey, thank you there, Mike. Let me give you a thumbs up here if I can. Give him a like, please. I'd appreciate that. There we go. That would be nice. Thank you very much. For the love of crowds. Ugh. No. I'm sorry, I'm just not one of those people. I don't love the crowds. You know. Now, let me see here. Let me get this out of the way. If you want to know exactly how to live smart in Thailand, not just survive, but thrive, pick up my book, Expat Survival Guide, Living Smart in Thailand. You will find the link down below in the description and on my website at anamericaninbangkok.com. It is the truth about life here, what works, what doesn't, and how to avoid being a statistic. Now, please remember to hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you'd like to show your support for the channel, $1.99. Hit the join button down below. Everything's down below. $1.99. And if you want to contact me for whatever reason, anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com. So, you know, but Pattaya has always been a bit wild. And what is happening now is not really what people think. It's still Sin City. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Let's see here. We got a few minutes left. I don't know how many of you have been to Pattaya and you love it there, or how many of you have been there and you hate it, or how many just don't want to go there because you think it's too grimy or whatever. I'd like to know. Why don't you let me know in the chat here or in the comments down below. A root beer? I'll have a coffee, or I'll have a water. I don't drink root beer now. I stay away from all that stuff. I'm trying to stay away from all the unhealthy stuff. Root beer, beer. Although I guess maybe once in a great while, I'd have a Guinness. I do like Guinness. Guinness is pretty healthy. Has anybody in the chat? 62 people right now. Has anybody been to Pattaya and they love it? Or you go there and you go, oh my God, this is a shithole. I'm curious to know. I don't mind Pattaya, but I wouldn't live in the you-know-what. I could live in Jomtien. I would say you should think long and hard about that. I'm not saying Jomtien is not a nice place, but I think you need to think what you're going to do there. And maybe there's some other places that you could live that would be better, but I don't know. There was a YouTuber that him and his wife lived in a house on the dark side of Pattaya. He hated Pattaya, moved back to the States. I don't doubt that. I've been to Pattaya before, but many European cities have these nightlife areas and far more developed and regulated. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to go to any of these places. I don't need to go there for a piece of ass. I don't have to do any of that stuff. And I'm glad, to be honest, because I just don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to sit there and smile at some girl because she goes, "You not happy? Why you not happy?" I'm happy, honey. I don't have to be smiling and grinning at you just because you think I'm happy. Never been, probably never go. Really? I went in 84 and I hated it. Well, that was a long time ago, but okay. You probably hate it more now. Never been, but I would love to check it out. Okay, I love it, but having friends like Bob make it more like home. My girl hates it. She moved back to Sakwan Nakhon. Yeah, Bob, I mean, he's entrenched there, and he really likes it. And, that's good. I think it's good if you're there and you like it. I think that's great. I would definitely go back to the seafood market, have them cook it, and eat along the beach. Yeah, I do like the seafood markets that they have there. But you can get that stuff just about anywhere. I enjoyed Pattaya for a while, but the novelty wears off. Definitely. You see, Walking Street is a shithole. Pattaya is just a mess from Second Road up. And that's kind of how I think. But I think you can go and have a good time, but you need to pick and choose where you go. And you need to figure out what it is you want. If you want to get a girl, there are other places you can go. Bangsaray, okay. Not too far if you want the Pattaya scene from time to time. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm just not inclined to go in that direction. To the east. I'm just not inclined to go that way. And, I like the West. I like it, but I don't think I want to live there. And then if you go to the north, you have Udon Thani and some other places up there in the north. Don't want to live there. There's no ocean. Same thing with Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Mae Hong Son, those places. I like them. I like to go visit. I like to be there for a couple of days, but that's it. You go down in the south, now that's my kind of place. I stay at the Hilton from there. Pattaya is a totally different experience. I don't doubt it. But if you go to the west side of, like where Phuket is and Krabi, I like those places. Now, would I live in Krabi? I don't know, to be honest. I'd rather live on the other side. Oh, it's probably 2 hours away. It's a ways. It's too far, to say, oh, I'm just going to live at my farm and I'll drive out to the beach whenever I want to go there. If I was going to drive out to the beach when I wanted to go there, then I would stay there for 3 or 4 days, at least. That's not what I do, and now what I've been doing is trying to get my wife to climb on board and to say, oh, wow, I really like this place. Maybe we can, it's not that it's closer to the East Coast. I think it's closer to the West Coast, but it's still too far. It's too damn far, man. I want to email you some questions and pay you to help me in my solo trip out there. I don't see your email. My email address is anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com. and americaninbangkok@gmail.com. There you go. But yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I've always liked the southeast. Bang Sireh looks too sleepy and boring to me. Exactly. But, you know, some people love it, and that's fine. And, you know, I'll be honest, and, you know, this is on me, not on Pattaya, but the reason that I'm constantly thinking about, is there another place where I can go, is, first of all, because if you're here long enough, this is just like me being at home in the States. After a little while, I'm like, oh man, I need a vacation. I need to get away from this. I don't want to just hear, this is Thailand. Oh, it's Thailand. You know how it is. Oh, I just don't want to hear about it. Then comes, hey, what about like living there and getting citizenship? What about going somewhere else and getting a nice change of pace and going, wow, this is even better than Thailand. So that's why I'm constantly thinking about Europe, and I'm starting to nail it down a little bit. Or we are. Greece, Italy, and what was the other place? I forgot. I don't know. You know, I talked about Ecuador. I just don't know about Ecuador. You know, so anyway, you know, they're just nice alternatives, and if they were to work out, fantastic. If they didn't work out, whatever. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if it's here or next door. You only need crazy 2 times a month. That's not very much. Checking in from Suratani Airport. Always nice to come down here for a few days. Now back to Hua Hin. Yeah, good luck in Hua Hin. That's what I'm going to say. Good luck. But yeah, I was just in, where was it? Ah, there we go. I got an email. I think it's from you there, Mike. So I'll check it as soon as I get off of here, which being a couple of minutes. But yeah, I don't think I'm ever going back to Hua Hin, to be completely honest. I thought about going to Bajua Kirikan and maybe to go to Chumphon again. But, you know, I went to Chumphon, I go on the beach, and I got sand flies. And, you know, it's not that I didn't think it was a nice place, but I didn't think it was nice enough anyway to go back, even if I didn't get sand flies. Well, Spain is one of them. Portugal was one of them, but they've changed a few things, and I'm not sure about it. Malta, I think, is probably a little bit too expensive, although my wife might have to go to Malta in April. If she goes, we're going, as in her and I and maybe one of the kids, one or both. And then we'll go to, well, Croatia sounds nice, but I don't think I'd want to live there. I don't know. I don't know about Spain either, just because. I think somewhere isolated in Greece or Italy would be my kind of tea, so to speak. But we'll see. I don't know. I always am researching this stuff, and then I'm finding out new stuff. I mean, listen, last year it was Portugal and Ecuador. The year before that was Portugal and Ecuador. Ecuador is great, and I like what they have. But Portugal has changed its citizenship requirements. I could go there and live there, but I don't know that I'd want to do there just because of the ocean, and I don't think it's really what I'm looking for in the weather. I don't think it's as nice as Greece or Italy. So anyway, I appreciate you guys coming on and us having a nice chat here. That was great. That is great. I'll be back maybe on Thursday. I'm not sure. I have a couple things to do this week. Yes, I do, and we'll see. And it just depends on how I feel, because now that's kind of how it is all the time. If I feel like doing it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. But I think, you know, the days are Monday and Thursday now, And then the videos are like Tuesday and Saturday. So anyway, that is all I have. I think it was legit, man. I think it was legit, for sure. Like I said, hit the like button, but that is all the time that, that's all the time I have now. So until next time, I am Scott all day long, and I am an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo jokan mai. Good luck, and see you again. Do lady di. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys later. All right? Take care.